Let intention drive you. Stay humble. Love what you do.
You know how purpose is preached every single day, literally, and how we're told to search for your purpose, find your purpose, and how we sort of like think, or perhaps let me say, how I thought my life would never make sense if I don't know what my purpose is. I want to share my experience with purpose, and I believe it's a gift and a curse at the same time, depending on where you are in life and how you view life as a whole. So in 11th grade, I was 16 years old, and my English teacher was talking about how teaching is a vocation. Basically, at that time, or perhaps what I thought was that a vocation is your calling, even though a vocation is a deep feeling that you're supposed to like go after that career or pursue that career, whatever career it is, or doctor, teacher. So my English teacher literally said, no, teaching is a vocation, and it's one of those things that need your dedication and so forth. And that day I asked myself, what is my vocation? What am I feeling like I'm deeply feeling in my heart that I'm supposed to do with my life? And it really just left me puzzlish in a way, and I was really just thinking about it non-stop. Even in matric, I thought about it, what am I supposed to do? So because I've had like not career changes, but in my head, this one time I wanted to be a pilot, this other time then I saw that, hey, actually you die faster, or perhaps there are high chances of dying as a pilot, dying and not surviving. So I then was like, no, I need to be a politician. And at some point I wanted to be a neurosurgeon as well, because I love the brain, and I'm intrigued by how people think, and I'm intrigued by how like neurons are transmitted, and a message like something that's happening on my head can, affect my leg, and how even like the automatic movements that we make in the brain, all of that. Like I was so deep into that. So I thought that, hey, neurosurgery it is. And then I discovered that no, man, I do not have the patience, or I don't have the attention span, or the like needed to operate on someone. So now imagine I read this article by a neurosurgeon talking about his 8-hour operation. I was like, what, me standing 8 hours? And I was like, nope, 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 nope. And I was in the dead end thereafter. I was like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What am I supposed to do with my life? And yeah, man, that was basically it. And with Miss Simon saying teaching is a vocation, it didn't make life any better really for me. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I had in accounting, I did accounting also. It so happened, I don't know if it was 11th grade or 12th grade, I can't remember exactly when, but uSamkelisiwe Ngidi, who was in my class, well, there were twins, there was Samkelo and Samkelisiwe, but the twin sister sat next to me, Samkelisiwe, and I used to call her comrade. We read Animal Farm, and then we ended up calling each other comrade, right? She had always known that she wanted to be a CA. And I used to just feel this pressure, like, why don't I know what I want? Like, why didn't I have that hey, I want this from a very young age? And she had always wanted to be a CA, which is chartered accountant. And yeah, she used to talk about it. She was like so passionate. She was really, really passionate. And it was scary. It was threatening. It was I'm going back to the 16, 17-year-old me, and I'm like, yo, it was hectic more than anything else. Like, I felt pressure. I felt like, why don't I know what I want to do with my life? There she is. She has everything figured out, you know. Yeah, man, it was really just insane. And crazy enough, she actually did pursue, like, become accounting, and I'm probably sure now she is somewhere through her articles or something like that, preparing for her articles. Like, it is like, yeah, basically, it is, now that I think about it, man. But that was me 6 years ago, and I have had the chance to look at purpose and to refine and to rethink and to just, yeah, man, just not look at it from one perspective, but just think about it even more, pray about it, learn about it, talk to other people about it, people who are older than me, people who I look up to, and I will share what I think now about purpose. First and foremost, I don't believe that we are called for one thing. That is like the first thing I need to talk about. The fact that we are not called for one thing. And often we chase after job titles and we think that's what we're called for. We're called to be a lawyer, a teacher, all of these things. But our purpose, or perhaps who we are meant to be, is not defined by one thing. So we are not called for one thing. It's important for us to not attach our identity to a singular version of who we think we are. You know, just because you're a doctor, it doesn't mean that you are just meant to be a doctor and that's just it, and everything else doesn't matter. And yeah, like, don't tie yourself up to either the status that you uphold in the community, society, or whatever, the job title that you have. I believe purpose is bigger than that. Purpose is more than that. I'm a Christian, so I'm bound to talk about Jesus. Jesus only started his ministry, or what other people might say his calling, his purpose, to serve his purpose, at the age of 30, and did it for 3 years. He died at the age of 33. He died for our sins at the age of 33. And before all these years, you ask yourself, what was he doing? He was a carpenter, right? His father was a carpenter, so he then also became a carpenter. And when he started his ministry, he was a teacher, a healer, and all of these things before he actually died for our sins, which was his ultimate calling. So this just goes to show that we're not called for one thing. So it's just bigger. It's way bigger than just one thing. And I love using Jesus as an example because he's a role model of mine. He did his purpose, served his purpose, the ultimate purpose that we know him for more than anything, for only 3 years. 3 years. And he reached the ultimate calling. So I genuinely believe that explore, dabble into things, and just do what you love, and that will serve as a purpose, you know. I've also come to realize that purpose is not really about this huge thing that we want. I don't know. When you say purpose, it feels so huge. Like, yeah, I am called for this. This is my purpose. You know, it feels very huge, and you feel very important, and you feel very, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a lot of things. But what I've also realized, and looking at Jesus, is the fact that sometimes purpose is being intentional. Purpose is knowing the outcome that you want. What is the purpose of this thing? Why do you want it in your life? Who is it serving? You know? And just looking at it from that angle, then just purpose being this huge thing. I probably needed this myself. I needed to experience this. I needed to I needed this video. I needed to do this video, and I needed to look deep within. Maybe my purpose is being a big sister, you know? At any point in your life, whatever you do, just be fully present in it. Maybe that's the entire purpose of life, to just be fully present and put our best foot forwards in whatever that we do in this lifetime. You know, and man, just don't overthink things. Don't overthink things. I also think that with our generation, we're so obsessed with purpose, we're so obsessed with finding our purpose, yet we fail to fully commit in what we're currently doing right now. We fail to fully show up in what we're currently doing right now. So what I just want to say this week, what I just want to say as we go into the weekend, is focus on what you're doing right now. Serve whatever that you're doing right now. Do it wholeheartedly, be fully present. That might just be the last thing you do before you die, after all. We don't know. So just focus on the now. Do whatever that is in front of you right now. Do it wholeheartedly. Even if it's something that you didn't study for, even if it's something that you didn't think you could possibly do, but whatever platform you're given, at any chance, just be fully present and take it in and put your best foot forward and be very intentional about it. I think purpose is overrated also. It's overrated.